I mean, doesn't he look like such a big boy? He's got so big. Exactly. Unbelievable. I see ya. Come on, buddy. It's all you. 1, 2, 3. Well, happy. What's the day?
Thursday.
Thursday. So, well,
So if I look like Popeyes.
Well, Olivia just taught her class. Harper and I went to the big boy slide. And he did good, although he kept getting in, because this group of kids wasn't as amenable. There were kind of a couple of, I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. These kids, a couple kids were just, how do I describe it? I wanna say they were jerks, but that's rude to kids. Spoiled. There we go, that's good.
No home training?
Yeah.
Jerks like their parents?
Ooh. Well, you said it.
Hey, listen. I mean, sometimes, jerk is a strong word.
Yeah, that's a strong word.
But sometimes
because they still have a chance. They still have a chance. But the verdict's out.
But most of the time, they're just like their parents. And their parents are jerks. And you can say that because they know better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes kids don't know better because they only know.
Yeah. The only problem with that theory is he had a brother and a sister, and they weren't necessarily like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So he might have just been the bad apple.
Or he just could have been having a bad day.
Absolutely. But he was big, like, he was wanting to run up that big slide like that where all these kids are waiting to come down, and yet, you know, he was just, and then Harper didn't understand, so he would try to go, and then everybody would just throw it into chaos. So finally I went up there and stayed up there while Harper went around and did all this kind of stuff. And
did you just say something?
Yeah, I said, because see, for that to work efficiently, you guys saw it on the vlog last week, you gotta keep it going.
Right.
Like, it has to keep going. And so what was happening is somebody would get halfway down and they'd try to come back up. No. So I got up there and, you know, I was the dad, probably was like, oh, he's so lame. I don't care. I was like, go, you have to go. No, someone's coming down. This is unsafe.
Yeah, it is unsafe. That's when they all crash into each other like that. That's how people break arms.
Absolutely. And it just so happened, you know, what made it so great the other day is you could just tell there were really good parents there that were, like, if their kid did something that, like, or if they were rude to Harper or anything, you could see they'd give them the stank eye. They didn't even have to say anything. But today, I'm not saying they were bad parents. They were just sort of like, and it was mostly nannies because it was during the day.
You know, it's really interesting. I read this. I am a part of this private moms group. Somebody years ago added me to it when I was pregnant, actually. And it's the Upper East Side moms group, essentially.
The
on Facebook, Upper East Side Moms Group. It's called Upper East Side Moms. And it's an invited group only, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, it's really, really unbelievable the problems that are talked about on that. Like, it's, I mean, definitely not my life. Not my life. Like, I'm trying to be polite, and I need to just, like, most of the time it doesn't even show up in my feed. Every once in a while something will show up. And the reason why I kind of stayed in it for a while, because there is some good information about certain classes and activities, but a lot of it is just jerk parents that are very extremely overprivileged, who just, like, I just sometimes want to be like, these are not problems y'all are talking about. Yeah. Like, some people can't pay their rent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whether your child gets into a $40,000 preschool, that's right, $40,000 is the, like, for some of these preschools. And it's this whole thing, like, well, then if your child doesn't get in this preschool, then they won't get in this elementary school, this preparatory school, which they won't get into this high school, which means they won't go to Harvard or whatever, either Ivy League college. You know, it's like this whole thing.
Well, I can guarantee you how you get in Harvard or Yale or one of those Ivy League colleges. You have straight A's and you get a really high SAT score.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's, you know, but I mean, my thing is, yeah, you see it, especially during the day like this. Like, the other day we were there after work, so, you know, there were just, like, some normal people there. But, you know, today it's a lot of nannies, and there are some amazing nannies, and you can see them from a mile away on the playground.
Oh, yeah.
But some of them are, you know, it's like pampering on the prince or the princess. You know, it's like...
well, and that's because that's the way the parents want
oh,
them
absolutely.
to be.
That's the way they want it to be. That's how they keep their job, is by doing that. So they're just doing what they're... I'm not actually making a judgment on that, because they're actually just trying to make a living.
I mean, I read this article yesterday, actually, on Facebook randomly, about this woman. She wrote a book about basically being a mom on the Upper East Side, and like how they moved from the West Village, this was years ago, to the Upper East Side, and how it was like moving to a different planet. Like, they were just saying how competitive it is up here, and how, you know, how like, you know, that when they moved into their luxury Park Avenue building, there was this big argument going on with the co-op board whether parents with children should be forced to take the freight elevators because of the noise instead of the regular elevators, like everybody else, because the other people just didn't want to have to deal with the noise or to see the children or the nannies. And I was like, are you serious? Like,
it's a different world. Now, I will say that on the Upper East Side in general, though, there's different neighborhoods. So, like, where we go to that Carl Schurz Park, the people who live around there are way more like the people in Astoria.
Totally.
You know, I'm not saying it's not more expensive right there, but it's definitely mostly,
closely related.
Yeah, it's mostly parents. And I say that with a grain of salt, because some of the nannies are better than the parents. I mean, just being honest. But on the whole, you're gonna get a more normal interaction with people when it's the parents and their kids.
True that.
That's just my experience. Now, these are all anecdotal because it's not scientific. It's just Daddy's experience with Harper at the different playgrounds of New York City. So, you know, I understand all the caveats to that. Like how we were saying about in our rant the other day about smoking and vaping, it's just our, you know, we don't know all the circumstances, and then sometimes when you learn other circumstances, you go, oh, okay, I get it. But in general, it's just hard. I will say, a lot of times, like, I'll be really attentive to Harper, and all the other kids end up flocking to me, like around me, because I'm the only one giving attention, or me and one other dad or something like that. And you know, that's just hard. And when kids have behavioral problems on the playground, you go, oh, I see, because they're just not getting attention. A lot of times they're just trying to get attention.
Right.
So, anyway.
They're ignored by their own parents.
They're ignored, yeah. And that's hard. And it's a reminder, you know, to me to not be like always on my phone or this kind of whatever, because they really
I just think it's hilarious that Harper, if he feels like you're ignoring him, or if he feels like he needs your attention for something and you're on your phone, he will 150% grab your phone away from you and go put it somewhere else.
I need to try to film this.
It's
you guys, I mean,
die.
I'll be sitting there looking at my phone while he's got something on the TV, mind you, and he's playing. So, you know, Daddy's just taking a few minutes to check Facebook or Twitter or something. He will come over, take it out of my hand, go put it. He's not even into. He doesn't even care about it. I'm sure he will at some point, looking at it himself. He takes it over. He puts it face down on the side table in the living room, and gets your hand to do something.
It's the funniest thing you've ever.
He's like, that's enough. Pay attention to me, please. My child knows what he wants.
I mean, literally, everybody who sees it dies. They die laughing. They think it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because he comes over and he's just like, okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it over here on the table. It's so funny. I'm sorry, the lighting is so crazy.
Yeah. So.
But it is beautiful outside.
It's beautiful outside today.
I am enjoying all this weather that we've been having lately so very much.
Yeah. So we actually today, I don't have rehearsal because it's Labor Day weekend and like I had one person on my team available, so we just canceled rehearsal. So we're gonna get to take Mom to her class and all that. So I may try to go in the office this afternoon since I don't have to go tonight. So that's the plan. So we'll check back in a little while. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Yeah. Well, happy Thursday evening, afternoon. Harper? He's being sassy today, people. He's being sassy. Anyway, I'm gonna get a 4-mile run in the park, and then we're gonna go to the playground, and then I think we're gonna meet Nora for dinner after Libby's class. That's where she is. So I don't feel like doing this, but let's do it. Started to get Harper Ellis a snack, which he wanted the juice, he didn't want food. Almost a mile 2. I'm feeling better about the choice. I'm still ready for it to be over. Everybody's gone home. Good job. Wow. Harper, tell us about the swing. Do you like it? What do you think, Harper Ellis? What do you think? Is this the cool swing? I mean, doesn't he look like a big boy? He's not so big. Well, we did make it to the 4 miles. It was definitely not my greatest time ever, but we did it. And like I always say, and everybody always says, you never regret doing the workout. So I'm glad I did it. Then I was planning on taking Harper to the playground we normally go to, Carl Schur's, but he saw the one there by the Met, and so we went there. And he loved it, although in the Central Park playgrounds at night like this, there's just not that many kids, which he still has a good time, but he has so much more fun when there's other kids around. So anyway, we're headed back to get Mom, hopefully meet Auntie Nora, hopefully get some food. Right, buddy? It is just a lovely evening weather-wise. I don't even know if you can tell from the pictures behind me. It seems kind of lovely, right? Put your hands together. Yeah. How's that look? Oh, well, that's good. That looks really good. Is that good?
Huh? Man, I walked by that, it was like that tree, and I don't know what happened, but the wind blew this branch right in my eye. It was like a palm frond or something. Like, oh, eyes, like,
I'm sorry.
yeah,